If you've ever asked yourself why people cling to religion, especially Christianity, even when it no longer makes sense, this is for you. Or perhaps you have considered or have just left Christianity, this is for you. Now, I wasn't a Christian because I believed in freedom. I was a Christian because I was afraid. And when you're afraid, your brain can't think critically. It's too busy trying to survive. Now, the purpose of this video is to share with you the direct link of nervous system dysregulation, survival, and fear-based states, and religion and religious trauma. And as a former Christian and survival of all kinds of trauma, including religious trauma, I do have some insight on this. Now, this video is not an attack against Christians. It's a truth-telling and a reclamation. Now, I was given up for adoption as a baby and adopted into a very strict religious family, and I was beat into submission of Christianity, and I knew that at a very young age that conforming meant safety. Conforming and not resisting Christianity meant that I would be accepted. I wouldn't be as outcast as I already was. Important to note that children are born already before they're shaped right into whatever their parents believe is the right path. They have a knowing. I had a knowing that Christianity was already oppressive at a very young age. So much so that one of my caregivers, when I was about 3 or 4, they would dress me in these frilly dresses. And if I squirmed too much in church, she would reach under my dress and pinch me and then laugh gleefully about it, right? And that's something for me is a direct indicator of how Christianity is rooted in abuse and rooted in danger and also rooted in oppression. And think about it. Enslaved Africans, their masters literally taught them Christianity and told them that they were privileged because they were slaves, because they were serving, because they were getting beat. So Christianity is already rooted in oppression and violence, even at the risk of safety. And now, not all people experience that type of violence at church or at home or children. However, it's important to know that the earliest practices of Christianity, because they're rooted in violence, abuse, trauma, oppression, misogyny, racism, then that bleeds throughout this system, and that is what shapes people to believe that that's how they have to approach life. So I thought that that was the way that people loved me, right? Through abuse, through oppression, because if there is this God in the sky who loves me dearly, but I'm getting beat, and I'm told that spare the rod, spoil the child, right? That I'm being loved because I'm getting abused, right? Because I am getting restricted, although I don't want to go to church, I'm still forced to do it. That's an act of love. So that's what shapes children and people. And so how you approach life, right? How I approached life as a Christian was always any relationship, any deal, any kind of pact that I made always came from a place of danger, oppression, and something that would set me back in my relationships. And not just relationships, but the way that I approached anything. When I was working as a nurse, I tended to not want to rock the boat. I would accept low offers. I would accept being burnt out. I would accept being overworked And I would take on tons of patients, which also isn't safe for them, right? But it also wasn't safe for me. But because I didn't have, that causes your throat chakra to close up, right? So I couldn't speak up for myself. And that was all a result of that early programming and brainwashing and abuse and conditioning as a child.
Let's take a quick pause here. If you don't know me, my name is Azur David. I am a healer and oracle for Black and Brown women. I help them shift out of burnout and trauma into safety and softness via nervous system regulation, ancestral medicine, and spiritual and feminine energetics. If this message stirs something in you, I invite you to visit the Empress Apothecary. It's a temple of sacred medicine, rituals, and transmissions to support you and shifting out of burnout and trauma, anxiety, into feminine softness internally. This is nervous system regulation work on a deep spiritual, sacred level. Okay, the link is below when you're ready. I have free and paid offerings if you would like to go deeper. And also, if I am resonating with you, if this medicine is resonating with you, I invite you to join our tribe by liking and subscribing. Christianity is a survival-based system. It thrives on producing fear, okay? It teaches you that to doubt Christianity, to doubt hell, to doubt Satan is rebellion, and that rebellion is sin, okay? And sin leads to hell, and this keeps your nervous system in a state of hypervigilance. And if you don't know what hypervigilance is, it's when your body feels like there's constant threats of harm or danger, okay? So hell must remain real for this belief system to stay alive. And without fear, there is no grip on you.
Christianity is not sustained by faith. It's sustained by fear.
You don't have to let go of your spirituality, but you do deserve to question anything rooted in fear. And fear is the lowest frequency on the planet. And if your God only loves you when you're scared of them, that's not God. That is oppression. I want Black people, especially Black women, to know that Christianity is a trauma response. It was used to justify slavery, assimilation, and abuse. It trained us to see obedience as safety and suffering as holy. And I say this with love. If you go back to religion after leaving, don't shame yourself. Your nervous system is trying to survive, but you deserve to heal, not just survive. I didn't leave God at all. I left the fear of hell, and in doing so, I found peace. And that is what I want for Black and Brown women, and honestly, all people to realize and to liberate themselves from. Thank you so much for watching.